Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and it's Monday, so that means it's another page in our Page by Page 2 project. This week is page 19, and the prompt is string or twine. I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to use bookbinder's thread. Seems like string to me. And so since I've told you what the prompt is, I'm going to move this out of the way. This is the book so far. It's gotten so fat. Some of the stuff that I have planned, we're going to have to do a little bit thinner than I would have originally done. So that's the case today. So the rest of the book, we're going to have to try to put it on a little bit of a diet. We're doing pretty fat. I think it's because of this page right here in the middle. But I may have to split this into 2 signatures to get it done, but I really don't want to do that because I want to keep the pages in the order that I did the tutorials. Okay, so let's see. We're back here. We did 18 on page 19, so we're going to do 19 on page 18. And so I need to, I've got some more two-sided or a restick tape right now in my mailbox that I just have to go get, and I will reattach this card at that time. So for right now, it's kind of just hanging out there, kind of loose. So today we're going to do something simple because done it a couple times before in other projects. Some of my one folder wonders and some other folios that I've done. So this week you're going to need some gathered twigs instead of vintage photo. I think Miss Painalot mentioned this instead, and I like it just as well too, instead of using just the standard vintage photo all the time. Why does this look like it hasn't been done up the side? I think I missed a side. Okay, so this is our paper. This is our backing paper. Okay, so we don't need the backing paper right now. We're going to do the flaps with the string, but we're going to do it a little bit different, and I may have to put you on hold for a second because I was going to go look for something, and then I got sidetracked and I forgot to look. I just got asked to do a design team project. I'm doing a new collaboration. I'm doing this on Mondays. I'm doing the other one on Fridays. Doing the tags on Wednesdays. And Eclectic Heirloom right now is in February of 2022. Is running on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So there you go. So I was a little busy this morning making a list. So this is the page, and this is going to be the top front of the flap. Isn't that pretty? This part right here. Okay, this is going to be the bottom flap, except we're not going to make it into a flap. We're going to make it into a pocket. And this is our writing card, which is this on one side, which has envelopes and things. And then, of course, it's not going to be this big. And these aren't either. We're going to cut them down. And then this is the back side. And since we didn't have room for a tag with the cream colored paper with the decoration on the front and the writing paper on the back, I printed this on 110 cardstock, which is quite a bit thicker than the 65 pound that we're using for the pages. Okay, so I'm going to set this to the side right now too. Okay, and so right now we're going to do the 2 flaps. Actually, let me go back a step. We need to make our circles for our brads. You're going to need brads, bookbinding thread, like I said, gathered twigs, some sort of a pokey tool or an awl, maybe a pencil, probably an inker as well, and my new happy glue My friend Cassie made this dangly for my glue. Anyway, I digress. So you're going to need 2 sets of 2 1-inch circles of craft paper glued together. Okay, so this is really 4 circles. I glued 2 together and 2 together. And then just 2, where'd my other one go? Oh, that's 2. There we go. So 2 glued together, 2 glued together, and then 2 individual ones. Since we're not doing the double paper, we can't hide them with paper, the back side of the brad. So we're just going to put a brown circle over the top. Okay, so let's set these circles to the side. Let's see if I can keep them separate so I know which ones are doubles and which ones. Oh, you know what? I don't want to forget to ink these, so let's do that right now. So you're going to want to ink these, ink them pretty good, kind of scruff them up a little bit. You only have to do it on one side. I usually do it on both in case I accidentally put the wrong side up when I'm attaching it to the page. Sorry about that. I should have had this done ahead of time. I totally forgot, just like I totally forget sometimes when I'm putting it on the page. I like these new rounded pads that I've seen a few people use them, and they said they really liked them, so I thought I would try them out. For certain things, the flat ones are better. Just depends on what you're doing. If you're going into little narrow spaces, then the flat ones are better. So I hope you had a good Valentine's Day. That was yesterday. I'm all excited. My son's going to come visit today or tomorrow. I'm not sure. He's flying in from out of town for work, so I'm not quite sure what his schedule is going to be. He's not getting in until this afternoon. Today's the 15th. So we're just not sure which day he's going to be able to drive here, because it's an hour each way to come see me from where he's working, and he still has to work as well. So, but I'm still very excited. So hopefully I won't be all fumble-fisted. Which, you know, could happen. All right, so now these are going to be 5 1/4 wide. They're going to be the width of the page. Excuse me. Let me drink some pop. Or soda, depending on where you live. Now, I want this whole picture to be in here. Then we're going to need, it looks like there's a little bit of white there. I think the inking will probably cover it. Going to want to leave a 1/2 inch to fold over as well. So let's say to here. And then we'll add a 1/2 inch. Okay, plus a 1/2 inch. We'll keep this. We actually probably could have used it as the bottom instead of cutting that. By the time we take the half off, it'll be down there. Half off. This will be up here. Yeah, that's fine actually. So all we'll have to do is score this a 1/2 inch. So let's get our scoreboard out. So we're not going to need this. I don't want to get the papers confused. Alright, so we're going to score this. Not that, it's our paper. I'm going to score this 1/2 inch at the top. Remember, this is just regular 65-pound paper. I did it backwards. You should do it from the back side, but I wanted to look at the picture when I did it. That's going to be pretty. Okay, and then we'll score this 1/2 inch. It's directional, so we want to score it 1/2 inch on the bottom. Okay. Now we're going to want to miter our corners, which means just cut a little bit off the corner so that it makes it easier to, fumble fisted, easier to not see it from the edge, the back, the flap. So you just cut the little bit of a corner. My hands are so shaky. I haven't seen my son in 20 years. I mean, I've seen him on video chat and stuff, but we've lived across the country from each other for 20 years, and neither one of us is wealthy enough to buy tickets. So, since his company is buying a ticket, he's able to come visit. So, I'm very excited. Did I say that already? Possibly. Okay, so we're just going to glue this. And I printed this on both sides. We're going to ink it. Okay, we want to ink the fold. I almost forgot. I am kind of doing the corners a little bit extra on this one. This kit is called Grunge Collage, and it's by Junk with Steph. I like her stuff. And this is technically the bottom. I'm wondering if I let it flip down, there's still enough room to write instead of making it a pocket. I still wanted something inside behind the writing card. Isn't this paper pretty as well? You know me and flutterbys. A couple of these are moths. In fact, they all might be moths. I believe this one is a butterfly. And this one too. So these two are moths. Anyway, does not matter. I digress. So I can always make it into a pocket if I want. So let's glue them on. Definitely won't lose the pin, will I? So technically this is the top of this, but that's okay. We got our handwriting right side up. And then we'll glue this on the top, same way. Told you this page was going to be easy. It's pretty. It's pretty though, as well. Put enough glue on there to make it where I could smear it around or move it around. Very nice. Okay, now we're going to put our circles on. For that, we're going to use our brads. We don't need glue. Okay, here's our thicker ones. These will go on the front. One will go here. One will go here. So we're going to use our pokey tool. Now this is one made by We Are Memory Keepers, and this end is for rolling the brads open. However, sorry, We Are Memory Keepers, I like just pushing it down on my work surface better. So let's poke a hole in the center. Watch out for your fingers. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold for just 1 minute. I got a message and I want to check and see if it's from my son. Hold on just one moment. I'll be right back. Will you miss me? Okay, I'm back. That was my son. He's in Salt Lake City already. Yay! He'll be here at about 1:30 my time. Anyway, enough about me. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this where I want it. And then I'm going to see if I can make a pencil mark through the hole. Wow, that's pretty much where I want it. Yes, except for I can't see it because of where it's at. Well, it's going to be a hole anyway. Let's do it with this. Let's see, we want it up a little bit. Now I can see it. Okay, I want this one straight down. I want it about here. You know what? Let's put this one on first. Use our pokey tool and make the hole. Open your fingers on either side so you don't poke yourself in your finger. Doesn't take much to poke through regular paper. Push it all the way in to make the hole big enough for the brad. Okay, then we take our brad, we don't want to fasten it too tight, otherwise we won't be able to get the string around it. Now, I selected gold because all I had a choice of was silver or gold, and this has these little gold flecks on it. I probably would have gone with a pewter if I'd had one. So you're going to run the circle, run it through the circle. Whoops. Okay. Then you're going to run it through the hole. Like that. You're going to flip it over. You're going to open the little feet like so to either side. Now, let's see how tight it is. We want to be able to put our string around it. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing below. So let's take here and we'll go straight down. Oops. Not quite in the center, I don't think, but they have to match. I think I'll do the same thing. Definitely see the mark now. Spread your fingers. Make the hole. Push it all the way down. Cover the pokey tool because you don't need it anymore. If you're like me, I'm not supposed to even be around pokey tools. I can set that to the side. We're done with it. Another brad. We can seal these up. The feet are a little bit off on this one, so I'm going to get another brad. I don't feel like fighting with that one right now. You see this one, the little feet are lined up exactly. They're not off to the left or right. That'll make it easier for me to push it straight through. Push it straight through the hole. Oops. Let's see. Now we look lined up. Too late now. We already got the holes. Open the little feet. Just turn them this way. Press them down. Check and see that it's not too tight. You can kind of pull up on the brad a little bit. Make sure it's loose enough for the string to go through. Now we're going to open this up. We're going to take one of these circles and we're going to glue it over the little feet. It's pretty close in size, so I'm not going to be able to put a little piece of tape on there. Normally I would, so it won't turn. But gluing this over it is different than just having it under paper. This will hold it from turning. And this is why I glue both sides. I mean ink both sides. This way I don't have to worry about which side I put the glue on. Except for I need to get a hold of it. And we just glue it right over this. Make sure it's glued down all the way around. You may have to push it down with your fingers because that little piece of the brad's little feet in the center are going to kind of push up. So this little section right here wants to stick up, so I'm going to hold my thumb on it for just a second. Okay. I'll do the same thing on this end. Make sure to especially get around the edges. I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to hold it hostage. We're going to hold it down. Make sure it sticks all the way around. Yeah, I put a little bit more glue on this one. Worked better. And that covers that. You could even put a little stamp on it or something if you wanted to, like a little butterfly stamp. Okay. So then all we have to do now, and I put them farther apart on purpose, in case you're wondering. All we have to do now for this part, let's see, we're going to loop that around and tie it. Then we want it to be long enough to go around and around a couple times. We can always make it shorter. Let's try this. So we're going to cut our piece of thread or twine or string. I'm going to wrap it around underneath the circle. Then we're going to tie a knot. Don't laugh at the way I tie. My fingers don't work quite right. Takes me a minute. Okay, there's one. Then we want to tie it one more time. I'm going to tie or cut this one off. And now we should be able to take this and run it down around here, back up and back down. It's just doing this because it's not glued on the page yet. Back down and back up. Okay, so now we're going to make our writing card. I wanted to put a pocket in here, or make this into a pocket, because and it wouldn't have worked, but because I wanted to put something in besides just the writing card. But you know, I really love this paper, so let's make our writing card and we'll just use that. Okay, we want our card. Here's our heavy duty paper. So we want it to be 5 by 7. Or do we want it to be 4 by 6? This is 5 1/4. Four by 7. 4.5 by 7. Let's do that. Let's move all this stuff out of the way. Leave the ink out so we don't forget to ink it. Now you want to look at your picture. And this is directional. The writing is directional. So we want to make it 7 inches this way. Let's see. This one has a bee head, so let's turn it upside down and make it 7. And I know this seems the opposite way, but if we do it this way, it will still be the same way. Oh, we won't get the picture we want. We're going to have a B bottom. And then we're going to make this 4.5, but which way do we want it to go? I mean, how much, where do we want to go? Let's take a look at it for a minute. Well, this definitely needs to be in the center. So we want it to be 2 1/4 out and 2 1/4 out. So let's move it, oops. Let's move it straight up. We'll mark it 2 1/4 out. 2 1/4 out. Wow, it's going to be rough to see those pencil marks. That should give us the width we want. And give us the right card size. You want to keep all these scraps. Definitely. These are almost 2-page sizes. They're a little narrower than a page size, but look at that. You could make something decent out of that scrap. These two will go in my scrap pile for my collage for this project when we're done. No, it's pretty close to center. Like my mom would say, good enough for government work. Now we're going to, we're going to round the corners. Even though we didn't round the corners, I know you were thinking about that probably. Why didn't she round the corners on these? But I didn't want to. So should I round the corners on the writing card? Let's make sure it fits. You know, I'm almost thinking we shouldn't. Because if we round these, then it will look silly that these are square. So let's not. Let's ink it though. We'll have to ink both sides, don't forget. A little extra on the corners. It does say grunge. This round one seems to be easier to ink too, because you can just roll it right across instead of trying to hold it. And that's why I did a darker color when I used the kit paper that I found that has tea dyed and coffee dyed paper in it. It's by Leanna Scrap. I'll put the link to that below under special links. Along with the link to this kit. So we're actually done. I don't want to put the card in yet. We want to, let's just kind of lightly get the string out of the way. get our backing paper. That's close. I wonder if I cut the backing paper a little short. Or maybe the little bit of extra length that this fold over gave us. I wonder if we should just glue it into the book then, without the backing paper. Yep, I think we should. Okay, let's just glue it directly to the page. We might end up with a little extra room than we would have had, but this ended up being pretty much from top to bottom. It ended up being the same as the backing page, so I thought that would look a little silly. Since this is going in the book, make sure you have enough glue. I don't do the middle. I don't think the middle of the paper's going anywhere if the edges stay down. It's just my personal opinion. Okay, let's make sure it's right side up. Kind of lumpy on the other side, so let's make sure it's really glued down good. That's going to be nice, see? I bet we could just slide the card in there. Yeah, it's nice and snug once it gets in there, but okay, so we'll save this for the next page. Okay. Now I've got this all messed up. That's right. So that's our page. So that means that's our video. So I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, bye-bye.